Coming up next, why everything you know about the word passion is probably wrong. And then, more people looking for jobs but not taking them. We'll break that down and we take your calls, and it all starts right now. All right, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show. I'm so thrilled to have you. If you're new to us, this show is all about you, specifically your purpose. And we're going to look at your professional purpose. There's relational purpose, who we're supposed to be in our personal life. Relationships are the foundation of everything. And then there's professional purpose, because we believe that there's more to a job than a paycheck. We're going to help you go from paycheck to purpose. You were created to contribute through your work, and we're going to help you figure out what that is. The dream job is possible. It's not a mythical journey that only a few fortunate souls are privileged to take. You were created to fill a unique role. That means you are needed, tremendously valuable. That's a great feeling. But it's also a fact, which means you've got to do something about it. You have a responsibility to be the best version of you, because somebody out there in this world needs you. So purpose in that light means that it's not about you. It's about others. And that's why we all long to answer the question, what should I do with my life? So that's why we do this show. Welcome aboard. Some of you have no idea what that is. That's okay. Some of you know what it is, but you're not quite sure how to get there. Some of you know what you're supposed to do with your life. You know how to get there, but fear, doubt, finances, family, maybe failure itself. Maybe you're ashamed. It's holding you back. So to that end, it's a caller-driven show. If you're going through a really, really tough situation right now at work, maybe it's really, really toxic and you feel like you can't hang on another day, but you don't feel comfortable because you don't want anybody to know who you are or hear it. You can change your name. You can change your location. You can change your industry. We'll change all of those things because that doesn't matter. What matters is that you feel safe to be able to call in, and let's see if we can help you. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Before we get to the phones, there's so much out there on social media, authors, speakers, and they're always talking about passion, and I hear people say, follow your passion, and then as though that's a good thing. And then I hear people now that are beginning to poo-poo this and go, oh, passion, you shouldn't follow it at all. It's just an emotion, and they dismiss it. So there is a lot of opinion, application, swirling around passion. So I'll throw my hat in the ring with some real gusto here. How about we actually, instead of opining on what we think it is and how it should be applied, how about we actually dive into where the word comes from? Because in doing so, I think the application takes care of itself. Let me break it down for you. The root word for passion, and again, there are multiple languages and different root words, but we'll go with what I believe is maybe the root of all language in some ways, the Latin. And the Latin is patior, the root word for passion. And essentially, if you break it down to its simplest definition, it means to suffer. You go, well, wait. I thought passion was something I love. Hang on. The idea of patior, the root word for passion, expresses the idea that I am moved to action and there will be pain involved. In other words, suffering. But if you dive deeper, the application as it was used originally allows you to talk about the pain and the pleasure. And now it has gotten kind of adopted into modern lexicon, and modern language is just all about pleasure or desire. But the actual application is you are pulled forward by a desire. It doesn't have to be sexual at all. You're pulled forward by an emotional desire, a professional desire. It doesn't matter. You desire a future. Let's just call it that. A desire future. You see it. You want it. And because of the deep want, you are pulled forward by the passion I'm pulled forward, and I am willing to suffer. I am willing to endure pain for the desired outcome. So it's not as simple as just saying, well, it just means to walk around suffering. No, it means that I am willing to suffer hardship. I am willing to suffer waiting. Come on, how many know that waiting on a desired outcome feels like suffering sometimes? Come on. You do. We suffer. We're waiting on a result that we desire. So whatever the desired outcome is, if there is pain, the pain of discomfort, the pain of waiting, the pain of physical pain, the pain of emotional pain, the pain of mental work, that's going to be tough. Let me tell you something. If you want to write a book, you are going to suffer mental pain. Can I just tell you? It's just going to happen. It's hard to write a book. Really hard. It's hard to develop an assessment. Whatever it is that you long to do, a desired future, if you're willing to endure hardship of any kind, like I just described on that list, that's passion. Why do I teach on this to start today's show? Because when I identify the gifts that you were given, there are three primary gifts that answer the question, what am I supposed to do? We got to get them in alignment. Talent, that's the easiest one. I know what I'm good at. People tell me, I've seen it. I've experienced ease at doing something where maybe I experience inefficiency or struggle in something else. I'm good at this. I'm not good at this. That's talent. Hard skills, soft skills. Passion. I love the actual work. And I care about the work. I'm going to go do the work. It's hard. I'm going to create something out of wood. That's hard work. I'm going to sculpt something. I'm going to paint something. I'm going to take pictures of something. I'm going to code something. I'm going to whatever. And it can be difficult, but we still are pulled into the work. Why? Because it is connected to the last piece, which is mission, results that matter. I love the work, and I care deeply about the results. So I love the work itself. I love actually doing the work. And oh, by the way, when the work is missional, I don't just love the work, but it is creating a result or producing or accomplishing a result that is connected to my values. That's why I break it down for passion and mission. The mission, I'm going on this mission for these results. And the way I do that is this work. So when all three are in alignment, I use what I do best, talent, to do work that I love, passion, to accomplish results that matter deeply to me, mission. So everything you know about passion is just, it's just all about love and excitement in the juice. No, it's not. Will you have the juice when you're working on something you're passionate about? Absolutely. But the juice is the benefit of that helps keep us going. It allows us to experience the pain of failure, patience. Patience is painful. Come on. Who agrees with me out there? Patience is painful. And so I am willing to endure that pain because of the work and the result, passion and mission. So passion, the reason I use passion to describe work you love is because it often involves great sacrifice to actually be able to do that work. So if I like it, I may not stick it out. But if I love it, I have no choice. Parenting's hard, but I have no choice. Why? I love my kids. I love my kids. Marriage, it's hard. I have no choice. Why? I love Stacy. I endure my mistakes. I endure my inadequacies. I endure pain in relationships. Why? Because of love. So I will endure frustration. I will endure failure. I will endure patience. I will endure. Why? Because I love the work. And the suffering is something that I am willing to take on because of the love. Passion and love. Make sure you understand what passion really is. 844-747-2577, 844-747-2577. I just happened to look over in the old chat room. And I think I didn't plan to, I just looked, and I happened to see Jacob in the chat room, and he says, I'm my own worst critic. I need help answering what is my Mount Everest dream job. I feel this needs to be answered before I can continue reading the proximity principle. Jacob, you're right. The proximity principle was written for people who know what they want to do, but they're struggling to get there. They're not moving as fast as they would like. So I wrote it because that book is a deep dive into the art of connections. And connections, people and places, are where opportunities are waiting on us. If we just show up or if we stay there, opportunities come along like a train to a train station. That's why I wrote that book. So here's the deal. You can call in. We're standing by. Somebody in here said, Cindy Bear said he can't answer the question in chat. Cindy Bear's right. But Jacob, I can answer that question on the phone, so I'd love to have you call in. If you're not ready today, no pressure. Watch, see what you can learn from watching and listening to others, and then give me a call sometime. We'll get you in there. 844-747-2577. In case anybody's wondering, every once in a while, I'll scan over there to the chat room. But let's get to the phones. Scott is going to start us off in Phoenix, Arizona. Scott, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hello, Ken. First, thank you for your show. As an educator, I use this information, and it's invaluable to share with students from all ages, K college.
Thank you, man. That is that's very kind, and I'm encouraged by that. We're going to keep after it. We're not done yet.
Wonderful. As for my question, in the next year or two, someone within my organization will likely be retiring. I plan to apply for their position as a quality internal candidate. Knowing that most, if not all, of the people that I would ask for a reference as a part of this position are likely a part of that hiring process, who and what relationships should I foster to build a greater network of references?
Well, the simple answer is everybody that's going to have some say in this, right? Why leave somebody out? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's the simple answer. If you're looking for more than that, fire away. But I absolutely believe that this is like, in some ways, don't get grossed out by this, but understand the analogy. This is like running for office, And so if you got a candidate that's running for office and the way you win is everybody's vote, then you're shaking as many hands as possible, right? And you're trying to meet as many people as you can to have a positive experience with them so that they'll go, you know what, I'm going to vote for this guy or this gal in November. And in this situation, if I understand the question right, who do I connect with? Certainly I would start with the people that are going to have the most influence. If I'm going to rank these, secondly, I would say the people that will have the most weight, if not in the decision process, but the people who have the most weight as it relates to endorsing you or giving you a good reference.
So it would be a good idea for me to ask anybody involved in the process and basically have them say a yay or nay. Yay, I do feel comfortable in giving you a reference, even though I'm a part of the process, or not. Or sorry, because I'm a part of the process, I can't.
Yeah, I'd find out. Maybe if is this a company that's large enough to where you got an HR team?
It's public education.
Right. So, but is there an HR representative for each school?
It would likely be a panel of staff, nothing very different. It would probably be different than some corporate.
I get the way you.
My experience.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks for reminding me of that. What I'm trying to filter through is what you just asked me. There are certain people that are going to be in the hiring room itself. So obviously they probably don't feel like they can endorse you because they're looking at several candidates. So what I was getting at in my general answer was I'd still reach out to them and go, hey, I really want this. Here's why I want it. I know you're going to be in the process. And I just wanted to get, whatever you feel comfortable with in kind of the pre-panel or the pre-interview process of letting them hear your heart. That's what I was getting at by reaching out to everybody. Now, specifically, you're right. There are going to be some people who will probably recuse themselves. And the reason I brought up the HR thing is they'll know who you could and couldn't ask for an endorsement. So that's a very good point you make. And I think you're going to have to figure that out And I think you probably have a pretty good idea. So just quick review here. I would reach out to everybody who's going to be in the process and let them know you want it and why you think you're the best fit for it. And then for those that aren't directly involved, getting the endorsements from them, that's where I would go. Does that make sense?
Yes, and it's just going to be navigating that and keeping my ear to the ground of who I can, who
that's right.
will be a part of it.
But remember, why I said what I said is it doesn't hurt for you to ask anybody. They can go, well, I actually can't do that. Okay, I totally understand.
Okay.
You know, like you're not going to be obnoxious in the way you do it, so I don't think there's a risk in asking everybody. So I'm sticking to my original answer, but acknowledging that you're probably going to get some people that go, I can't do it because of the politics of this and maybe some internal policies, which I'm unaware of. But that stands to reason. But you're not wrong by connecting with everybody. Just feel it out. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Let's go to Tim in Glasgow, Kentucky. Tim, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Wow, what a blessing to talk to you, Ken.
Well, the blessing is all mine. How can I help you, Tim?
Just a quick background. I'm a retail store manager. I'm really good at leadership and teaching. That's what I love doing is teaching. Mm-hmm. And I'm very good at running the business. My issue is as of this year, they capped our salaries. And I run one of the largest volume stores for this company, and I am capped out in my salary. And the truth is, if I actually take one step upward to what they would call a district manager, most district managers make less than what I make.
Wow.
I wouldn't lose money, and I would love to do it because of the teaching leadership, but it's just I'm having trouble finding. Money doesn't necessarily motivate me, but my evals no longer mean nothing. There's just nothing. I don't know what there's left to achieve with the company.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on.
For direction.
Okay, good. So a couple quick things here. You said if you got the district manager position, you would love the leadership challenge and the teaching. But most of them make less than you, or all of them make less than you, but you said you wouldn't lose money. So does that mean they would grandfather they wouldn't, if they promoted you, they wouldn't, make you go backwards, but they wouldn't give you a raise either. You would just stay at your current salary. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, but what's above that? Let's say you go in there and you kill it. So you don't go backwards financially. And obviously you're not getting a bump in compensation, but you just told me that money wasn't the driver for you. So it would stand to reason then, tell me if I'm wrong, that if you took the district manager position, you would have some juice you haven't had in a while because you're going to have more leadership responsibility, presumably, or certainly hopefully more opportunity to teach. And there is a position on the ladder above district manager. Is that an incorrect assumption?
Yeah, it's a very correct assumption.
Oh, it's correct.
Yeah.
I asked you if it was incorrect, so that's good. So this could be the position that you take, and it feels like from a value standpoint, it's aligning because money will eventually come if you step above district manager. The question is, how long do you think that would take, and is that a viable option to go above district manager?
The only other issue, kind of have two issues. I'm old. And
wait a second. I'm not sure. What does that mean? How old are you?
Well, 50.
Dude, careful.
And they don't look at older people anymore. And also, it seems like it's very hard to be an internal candidate.
Okay.
Versus being an external candidate.
Okay, now those are new facts that you're giving me. And I'm unable to dispute that.
Right.
But I'm cynical about the first one, which is the age thing. I'm cynical. I can't dispute it, so I won't. I'm cynical about that because 50's not old, number one. Hey, dude, I'm about to turn 47, so I'd like you to slow your roll on slapping labels on people my age. All right? Can we do that, Tim? Gee whiz, man. You're only 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
What's the evidence that you have that they don't promote internal people?
They do promote internal people. It takes 3 positions higher than me, or 3 positions higher than my boss to sign off and go through the process. They have to sign off for me to go through the process. And then they have to sign off that I did everything right in the process. And versus an external, it's just an interview.
Okay. What do you believe your chances are that if you go for this, what do you think your chances are that you get a good shot at it? Not get the job, but a real good shot at it.
I came here to Kentucky with this company. I transferred, and I told my boss I give him a year, and either you tell me that this is just a pipe dream, I'm not good enough, or I get promoted, and that's going on 5 years ago.
Okay.
And no one will tell me that I'm not good enough. Everybody tells me I'm good enough. They just can't get me pushed through.
Okay, so you feel like there is a real lid here, so I get it. So then if you're looking for direction, then I say you got to trust your heart on whether or not you think there is a real lid on you. And I think that you think there's a lid, and I think you've given me enough evidence that says there probably is a lid. So here's the great news. You know the kind of leadership you want to do. You want to be in leadership. I think whether it's retail or manufacturing or whatever, I actually think that I wouldn't get locked up if I were you on industry specific, because I think you just love leading people and teaching and guiding and serving people. Is that true?
Yes, 100%.
Well, I would, if I were you, I'd spend a little bit of time proving to yourself how transferable your experience and your skill is to other industries. You with me there?
Yeah, I'm just not sure how to go about that one.
What do you mean you're not sure how to go about it? That's a good question. Ask me. I just created a question. Now ask me something.
How do you go about going from one sector to the other industry?
I wrote this book called The Proximity Principle. You familiar with it?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Well, I'm going to get...
Only book I haven't bought from the Ramsey Solutions.
Oh my gosh, I was about ready to give it to you. Now my feelings are hurt. I got to get over my feelings. Sorry. I got to get over my feelings for a second. Okay, I'm over it. I'm going to give you a copy of the book, whatever format you want, in just a second. Okay. Now, I want you to read it and do it, but I'm gonna give you the quick version. Okay. So,
yes, sir.
You know a lot of people, Tim. You've been a professional for a long time, and as a result, you know a lot of people. And you've got to start with the homework assignment that you kind of glossed over. I told you need to begin to identify for yourself the skills and the experience that you have. And when you look at the skill and experience, you forget the retail industry for a moment. You've really got a lot of experience at leading a team of people, probably leading a team of salespeople and customer service experts. True or false?
Yes.
So isn't that transferable to a lot of industries? Isn't it less about the product and more about how people learn how to sell and how people learn how to take care of their customer?
I think so. I've only done this forever.
Yeah, but wait a second.
I've ever done.
No, but either you believe me or you don't. It's not a function of you.
I do believe you.
Of course you do. If you get over your doubt for a second, you realize that what is your number one skill set in the business marketplace as a leader? What's your number one skill set? What would you say? Elevator pitch. Go.
Leading people.
Okay, great. Last I looked, leading people was about leading people, not, this unbelievable knowledge of a service or product. Does it help? Yes. But this idea that you can't get outside of the retail industry is nonsense. So your homework assignment is to actually read the proximity principle, which I'm giving to you. And I want you to begin to make the connections to, hey, here are some leadership positions that are out in the marketplace in my area. And when I read the job description, does it match up with my skill set and my experience? If it does, then you can begin to nose around and go, how much product or service expertise do I really need? But to just assume that I can't move from one industry to the next is an incorrect assumption, especially when you've got a track record of leading teams. It's specifically sales. Am I right?
Yes.
So it's one thing if you go, well, I'm going to move into selling rocket ships. Well, you might need some industry-specific knowledge in that area. Fair?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
But what industries could you move over to? And it's a function of you talking to people that you know in those industries. And you start to have coffee with people, which I'm going to unpack for you in very specific terms with homework assignments at the end of each chapter. And I'm going to get you right to the door of opportunity. But you have to first discover all the different places in different industries, different types of leadership positions that you have the skill set and experience to do. That's homework assignment number 1, so you're not so daggum scared and doubtful. But you got this, Tim. You have so much to offer. Do what I told you to do. Hang on the line. Amanda, let's get him whatever format that he wants. And Tim, when you read this book, it's going to be like a warm blanket around your shoulders. Oh, these are the people I need to get around. Oh, these are the places I need to step into. And opportunity, folks, is always, listen to me, opportunity is always hanging around the right people and the right places. It's like getting to a train station, Joe. If I want to catch a train, I'm going to go where the trains are actually showing up. So I want an opportunity for a job in this sector. What do I got to do? Oh, let's see. I've got to meet people who are employed and winning in that sector. Huh. Okay, that makes some sense. If I want an opportunity, where do I got to go? I'm going to go start hanging out in places like companies that are doing that kind of work. That means I got to find somebody that knows somebody over there, and I'm going to go shadow, or I'm going to get online and learn. Interesting. There's a focus group over here, or there's an online community over here. I'm going to start getting in those places. Wait a second. You're telling me that the proximity principle is just simply about getting around the people that are doing what I want to do and getting into the places where that kind of work is happening, and I'm going to get the opportunity eventually? Yeah, it works. Hundreds of thousands of copies of that little book are out in the marketplace, been sold. Folks, it works. It's not a motivational guidebook. It is a practical, step-by-step, here are the 5 people and the 5 places that you need around. And then when you're around those people and in those places, here are the practices that you need to habitually engage in, and opportunity will show up one day and go, hey, Tim, I got an opportunity for you. Huh. Sure. So if I am intentional to get around the right people and get in the right places, here's what I know. The right time happens. Very simple math. So for the rest of you that are new to the show, you've never bought the book, get the book. I got over my feelings that it was the only book from Ramsey Solutions Tim hadn't bought. Now I'm giving it to him. Gonna be breakthrough. That's okay. That's why I wrote it. 844-747-2577. How about some third-party services that fit beautifully into what I am teaching you and coaching you to do? ZipRecruiter.com. I'm stoked about this relationship. I hope Ken Coleman Show listeners are going to ZipRecruiter.com because it's free, Joe. And they sign up a profile, and immediately ZipRecruiter's unmatched world-class technology begins to match and pitch you folks to companies with positions that you are a great fit for. And here's my favorite part of their technology. They allow the companies, which are paying for their service, to contact you directly and go, hey, Tim, I want you to apply. What? You're in. Not in an online software program that you just hope that they're going to look at you. No, they reached out to you and said, Tim, I want you to apply. It's half the battle. ZipRecruiter.com is the place. It's free. Their candidates are 3 times as likely to get a job. Number 1 job site in the world. Super stoked about this. Why wouldn't you do this? Let them work for you. It's free. Did I mention that? Yeah. You thank me later. By the way, if you know what we need to say, if you get a gig through ZipRecruiter, you need to call the show. Joe, Amanda's on the phone right now getting the next caller up. You need to tell her that. Somebody calls in, or you can reach out to me on social. I want to applaud you and them. So there you go. All right, quick break. When we come back, the unemployment market is beginning to thaw, but it's still got some hiccups. We'll look into that straight out of the headlines. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show. Coming up in a few minutes, the next installment of Tuesday Juice Day. I did not tease that earlier. I should have. This is a fun little segment where the team presents me with a mystery juice. Here it is. We'll get to that in moments. And it may be a juice, it may be a beverage, but the idea is that it's all about energy and health. I taste it blind. I don't know what it is. I give it a full description and then I rate it. So that's always fun. That's coming up. But first, it's time for In the News. All right, this is a headline from CNN. More people looking for but not taking jobs after their unemployment benefits end early. So we got more involvement. And this headline, I'm going to break this down a little bit. 26 states are now ending at least one of the pandemic unemployment benefit programs early. Some are ending the federal unemployment program and then keeping their state program is essentially what's really going on here. So now we're up to 26 states that are doing this. At least 20 have already ceased the federal payment. Okay, and plan to do so. The rest of the 50 plan to do so by the end of July. So, by the end of July, by what's being reported here, and this could change, but the plans are for all 50 states to end the federal unemployment program. And of course, they're not going to end their state unemployment program. That's not going to happen. So, essentially, that's what we're talking about. Okay, but here's what the trend is. So, you have a lot of people now that are starting to go, uh-oh, the unemployment benefits are going away soon. I'm going to start kicking the tires. So companies in these states are beginning to report an uptick in applications, but not in actual interviews. So they're reaching out to people saying, hey, thanks for the application. We'd love to interview. People aren't doing that. Now, CNN doesn't cover this, but this is why I do what I do for you folks. As a man of the people, I'm going to read the tea leaves for you. Here's what's happening. We have 9.3 million jobs open right now. A lot of options. So while people are beginning to say, okay, I'm thinking about getting back in before the benefits run out, and so I'm going to kick the tires, they're still not jumping in. Why? Because there's so many jobs available. So you got one employer, essentially reporting to CNN, I can't get anybody to actually come in and do an interview, and they can't figure out why. Well, again, 9.3 million jobs. Let's just keep saying that over and over again. There's so many jobs. People are applying, and they're getting a call back, but they're not calling back because they've either found something else they're interested in or they've already got something. Or they just kick the tires, and they're not miserable enough yet, Joe, to actually get off the unemployment line. There's a lot of things going on. And I'm going to tell you two other things here. Okay? Two other things. I also think that childcare is a big issue. I mean, let's just think about this. For working parents who went home during the pandemic, whether they were remote workers or they were furloughed or laid off, a pretty pricey part of their budget was eliminated. Childcare. That's a big chunk. So now you got families who are looking at, okay, yes, my unemployment benefits are ending, and so that's a negative. But also, if I go back to work, I've got my child care expenses coming back. And that's a scary thing, and people are trying to navigate that. And I think it's delaying people coming back because they're trying to figure it out. I really think that's true. Some people are going, I'm not even going to come back until the very end because I've got this ping pong match of costs. Losing the benefits, so I got to go to work, but my child care goes up. Okay, keep the unemployment benefit, keep my child care costs down. I think when they've got to actually get back to it is driving a lot of this. And what I mean by that is the child care costs. I think that's a huge factor. And I will also say, and I don't want anybody to scoff at this, because I'm not saying it's a righteous, that the fear is warranted, rather. But I still think a lot of people are afraid to go back because of COVID. Listen, the media spent a year scaring the absolute you-know-what out of people. So it stands to reason if you've been scared to death, not blaming anybody here. I'm not taking a position on COVID. I'm simply saying a lot of people are scared. And they've been scared by the media. So a lot of people don't want to come back to work there, and they're looking for the perfect remote situation. I've been talking about this. People don't want to come back in. Some of my you'd think they were controversial, not controversial, but my Instagram posts, people are going nuts. I don't want to come back to work. Why should I have to? No one said you had to. I just think you're going to need to at some point. But if you look at childcare and not wanting to return back to work, whether a fear of COVID or I just realized that I'm a person who wants to work from home, people are taking longer to actually take jobs, even though employers want them. 9.3 million jobs. So very interesting stuff. Let's go to our friends at ZipRecruiter. The number of job applications submitted the week ending June 19 was up 7.6% in 15% of the states ending benefits in June. So again, applications are starting to tick up, but people aren't necessarily diving in yet. And I think it's for all of those reasons. So here's what I would tell you. At some point, these jobs are going to start to fill. Companies are getting aggressive. They're going to start offering some great opportunities. And I just don't want you to wait too long. That would be my only thing, man of the people here. I'm not trying to guilt you. I'm not trying to say that your concerns about working in an office after you found that you really love working at home are unwarranted. No, that's very warranted. If you can get the great work from home gig, hear me say I'm for that. But to put your family in a tough position financially and maybe put yourself behind in your profession all because you're just like so committed to working from home, I don't think that's wise. But I get childcare and I get the fear in your health and I get that you're going to have to reconcile those things. That's not something I can tell you what to do and how to do it. That's something that's deeply personal. That's your budget. Those are your kids. And that's your health that you've got to reconcile. I'm not going to opine on that. But the reality is a lot of people are waiting and waiting and waiting. And for a while, we're going to see this dearth of jobs that are wide open. But I think it's silly to wait too long. All right, Joe tells me we got a new bump. It's time for Tuesday Juice Day. All right. Little funk there, Joe. All right. So if you're new to the program, we're having some fun here. We're going to keep doing this. I talk a lot about getting the juice. And the juice, this enthusiasm, this deep passion, it just comes out of you. It's the juice. People look at you and go, man, this gal, she's got the juice, man. She loves what she's doing. She's on fire. So I talk about the juice all the time. And you get the juice when you are in your sweet spot, right? You're using what you do best to do work you love, to produce results that are deeply personal to you, great values connection. So you get the juice, right? You got that. Tigger is my favorite animated character who had the juice. Tigger always had the juice, right? And even if he kind of got smacked by somebody or Eeyore got him down, he didn't keep him down. Tigger always had the juice. And so I want you to have that juice. So we thought, well, what about some healthy juices that give us energy during the day anyway? Because we need to be healthy. So we thought, okay, we're going to have some fun with this. So here's what this means. In this nondescript cup is some type of liquid. It doesn't technically have to be a juice. Basically, I told the team, put a beverage in here, and the beverage has to have two characteristics. Number one, it has to be healthy. And number two, at least by their marketers, it has to somehow promote energy, right? So here we go, and here's how this works. The team puts in a descriptor marketing copy from the company itself or from the brand, or in Joe's case, I got this sneaky feeling this is like from his grandmother, grandmother's fifth cousin once removed, and I guess it would have to be a recipe.
No, that was my second option.
It was your second option. So the team has great fun with this. I've already looked at Amanda behind the glass, and she's chuckling about this. So I'm not allowed to smell it. I just have to drink it and then review it. Here we go. No further ado. Wow. That's very, very sweet. Of our 3 weeks, this is the sweetest. Tell you what's going on right now. When I sip that, my juice glands or whatever, the tongue and the side of the cheeks, explosion. A lot of liquid came back that was not the actual juice. I'm going to smell this. Now, I don't know if you can see this. There's a little red residue on this. One more sip. Very sweet. Very sweet. A lot of sugar in this. I'm having a hard time believing.
No sugar added, actually.
There's no sugar added.
Nope.
Okay. I would guess if I could. Let me tell you where my brain went first. My brain went to Kool-Aid. That's where my brain went to, because the aftertaste, to Joe's credit, if there's no sugar added, the aftertaste is fantastic, because a lot of non-sugar stuff kind of has a gross aftertaste. So we'll get to this. This is tasty. Very tasty. This is V8 pomegranate and blueberry. So it's a V8.
Yes, it is.
Oh, very nice. I thought V8s originally were more of a tomato
They were,
vegetable.
but they branched out.
This is V8 fruit and vegetable blends, 100% juice. Gives you the nutrition of vegetables blended with just the right amount of fruit juice for a light, sweet taste, plus 1 full serving of fruit and 1 full serving of vegetables. Great, so no added sugar.
Nope.
So you're telling me they took pomegranates and blueberries and squeezed them really hard.
And no sugar added.
This is delightful. This is delightful. My only complaint is room temp. I wish it would have been a little colder, Joe. But very delicious. Can I tell you I'm really relieved, because I thought that you were going to mess with me.
I was.
Oh, you were?
Yes, I was.
What happened?
It was so disgusting, I wouldn't drink it, and I wouldn't have you drink it.
Oh, you tasted it.
Yeah. Option 2.
You know what? Can I just say, for the entertainment of our audience in the future, that needs to be your round 2. When it comes back around to you, let's try it.
Okay.
I have given you permission. Amanda's clapping her hands. I think the audience wants to see me really struggle to not throw up. I think this is what they want. I am a man of the people. Okay, so I'm going to rate this. I think a 7.5 is the highest score I've given so far. I can't keep track of this. Y'all may need to keep track of this. I'm going to give this is a legit 8. Highest score yet. Really tasty. No nasty aftertaste. And I guess it promotes a little bit of energy. You know, it can't
Absolutely.
be bad.
Sure.
This is made from sweet potato, carrot, apple, grape, pomegranate, and blueberry. All things that, I'm not going to eat a whole lot of by themselves. So, it has a very nice little can. Oh, that's very nice. There you go. I love it. So there it is. I'm going to give it a solid 8 next Tuesday. By the way, if you have a juice, I'm looking at the chat room here, and those of you that watch and social media, if you've got a juice or an energy drink that you would recommend, you want to submit it for the taste test and the rating, then I will review your juice. Until then, if you're using what you do best to do what you love, to produce results that matter to you, that's the real juice. Hey, I got to get out of here. You matter. You have what it takes. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.